This is the third session of debate, and all the second session has gone well. So, group debate is a discussion involving number of people connected to the share of activity, interest, and quality. So, we would like to have all the cooperation from all your sides. I would like to make some points to make sure that there's no clash in the program. So, the judges will be giving you topics, and then you can decide which you want, and you will be gone to the breakout rooms where you will be given 10 minutes and you can discuss on which topic you stand for. And then once 10 minutes are over, you'll come back to the main discussion room, and where you'll be divided into group A and group B. So one person from group A will be coming and speaking, and each person gets 3 minutes to speak. So once a person from group A comes and speaks for 3 minutes, the next person from group B comes and speaks. So to be note, there will be no question answers in between. You may note your point on a paper which you want to ask the question. Do not ask in between. Once everybody in the room gets a chance to speak 3 minutes, then we'll have a question and session where all your questions will be asked and cleared. Yes, sir. Judges could give their topics.
Okay, this proposition is lockdown the best solution for COVID management? So this is the proposition, and one team will speak for the proposition and the other team will speak against the proposition. Okay, so over to you, the moderator.
Yes, the breakout rooms will be given. Okay, so we'll start with the person who is for lockdown. So the person from for could come and speak.
I'm the first speaker for why for lockdown. So why we chose for lockdown is because it reduces COVID cases. And how it reduces COVID cases is it prevents social mingling. It prevents when people mingle together, when people form, chatting groups, when they come, they touch, they hug, maybe they show their love for the friends, for the best friends. And while doing so, we can't see the virus. So it might be, they can get affected. So this prevents social mingling and reduces COVID cases like this. And we can also have more updated news on COVID-19 because lockdown helps. And we can focus on health, discipline, and hygiene. So when we are in home, we mainly focus on, how mingling with our family members. And it also helps in increasing our health, discipline, and hygiene. And hygiene at these times is very important because we need hygiene to, spread the stop of this disease. And we can also get better health, I mean, like, we can also, it's not just going out which improves our health quality. It is also like we can do yoga inside our house. We can also exercise inside our house. We can do plenty of things to keep our health good. And one point many of us will tell is it reduces the country's economy. How? But the people are the ones who, they are the one who contribute for a country's economic growth. And if the people's lives are not saved, then how is the country's economy going to use the people? So it is no use if a country can't save its people. Jobs have been lost and we accept that. But then when we lose jobs, it is not because many people have got, struggle at these lockdown times, and it is for their own safety. They even though the government has done a lot for them too, they provide food, they provide, but they have also lost their, the loss of jobs. But during this lockdown, their life is safe, and job is not important more than life. We need our life so that even though after lockdown we can get a job, we can start a new job. So these are the main points I want to give my contribution for the team, and thank you.
Yes, now the person from against lockdown could come and speak.
Okay, I'd like to speak from against lockdown. I would like to make my first point that many small scale businesses have been affected due to lockdown. Many vendors, tea sellers, all people have been affected because of this. The second point, migrant workers. Last year when lockdown has started, we saw one of the biggest migrant workers exodus. Many people lost their jobs because of this, and also many farms have been affected. Small scale farmers don't have enough workers to produce food and other necessity items for day-to-day lives. Yeah, that's it.
Yes, a person from for lockdown could come and speak.
Yes, I will go second. And my point is that given that the social interaction will be less, but with that use of vehicles will also be less during the lockdown. So the pollution will be decreased by a lot, and it will be better for the environment of the earth.
Yes, now the person against lockdown could come and speak.
Yes. Yes, I would like to say that during lockdown, the shops have been opening once in a week nowadays by the government to promote the sale. But I would really like to say that when a shop opens once in a weekend, the people who had to come to the shop comes together suddenly in a one day, and there will be more chance of spreading the virus there. So even if there was not lockdown, like if the shops were kept to be open for a long period of time, there would be a much less crowd in the shops, and it would reduce the spread of the COVID. Right? That's my point.
Now the person from for lockdown could come and speak.
So, but many of, as Avinash told, I am telling most of the shops now have home delivery ideas, and we have online, we can purchase things online, and so social distancing is needed, but the police and these social workers are giving food and necessary things to home, and so lockdown is useful, and shop is not necessarily necessary.
Now the third person against lockdown could speak.
Yes, because of lockdown, it is online classes nowadays, and online classes are not effective. Most students have not even get laptops or mobiles or even TVs, and the students are having eye problems, and people are getting having depression because of lockdown.
Navajit, is your points made?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Now the person for lockdown could speak.
So my first point is that of studies and social commitment. As you all know, social distancing is the one of the major thing we can do against COVID-19. So these are now done in online, and this will help uh, reduce the number, reduce the number of patients, COVID patients. And other thing is that life is more important than any other thing. So can you hear me?
Yes, Clem, you can go on.
Okay, so the next thing is that pollution, and due to the lockdown, it is said that 20% of pollution across the globe had decreased. So that is other point, and that's it.
Okay. Now the last person from against could come and speak.
Can I speak?
Yes, Devika, you can start.
Lockdown has affected the economy of our country a lot. It has decreased the GDP to a very devastating level. The tourism industry, through which states like Kerala, Jammu and Kashmir, etc., gets most of their income, is now destroyed. Is now in the path of destruction. And the hospitality sector, through which most of the foreigners came to India for treatments in Ayurveda, etc., are now in the path of destruction. That's all.
Yes. Now the last person, Megha, for the lockdown could come and speak.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Megha, we can hear you. You can make your points.
Yeah, okay. So one thing I've noticed because of the lockdown is that the pollution of the atmosphere, or the pollution that's around has decreased a lot. And then recently, in a article I read in a magazine, it said that the pollution has decreased by 20% across 20 countries of the world. And then also another point related to the environment is that thanks to lockdown, like cases of like airborne diseases such as lung cancer and other respiratory diseases have drastically decreased. Then another point I would like to share with you all is you may have noticed like many offices have introduced work from home. You may have seen your parents working from home and all. So like some people may tell that there are some disadvantages, but there are advantages as well, like no extra expenses. So if you're using a cab to reach your office now, because you're at home, you don't need a cab. Then work flexibility. So this means like you can start the day whenever you want, and you can end the day when you want. But that also means that you need to complete whatever work needs to be done. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Yes, so everyone had the chance to speak. Now we could continue with the question and answer session. That if you have any question to ask to the opposite group, can be done.
I would like to counter the opposite group. I have so Nikhil said that a person's basic necessity is lacking due to the lockdown. I mean, during lockdown, the government has released that all online services can be used for a person's basic necessities. Avinash told that you can also use social distancing and open shops and once a week, but not everyone follows social distancing. I mean, I have noticed some people wearing their mask on their nose. So, below their nose. Not everyone follows the proper rules for social distancing or the proper prevention. So lockdown will be more useful. Navijit said that online classes is not effective. Risking children's life, this disease is also not effective. Um, we have all heard that corona doesn't affect children, but then I have also seen there are lists for even death of children, and even risking the life of children is not effective. Devika said that economy, like I said before, economy people contribute for the economy of the country. If people's life is risk, if people are in a stage of death due to this virus, then what is the use of the economy? For sure, if the people are not safe, the economy will also fall. And one more point I would like to tell is medical supplies can also be restocked as there is time because of lockdown. Due to lockdown, the cases will reduce. And for medical supplies such as masks or sanitizers can be restocked and used again. So this is all.
Yeah, I want to answer Ritesh. He said that when we wear masks, I told the point that if we go to a shop once, everyone together goes to shop once in a week, we can't control the cases, spreading of cases. But when we are opening the shops in a but every day in for long period of time, there would be much less contact with the people, right? Because all do not want to buy a particular thing at the same day. They could go to different days, so there would be much less people coming to the shop. Then they will make the spread low. So we could control it by using masks, etc. But while during lockdown, there are only specific days. But when the patients come to the shop, we don't know who will get corona and something. So when they come to the shop, the chance of spreading would be much higher. That's why I said. But I want to say that you said that if we want to consider the people, right? But what happened when the people would have no jobs, right? They would be in such a condition that they should be even suiciding. There are some cases reported there because of lack of jobs. The people do not have any way to pay their all debts, and they are suiciding now. So do you agree that with my point? Now, Megha told working from home, but it is not applicable to all the jobs, right? Because like the daily wages, could they work from home? What will they do to get their livelihood? Also, Rishikesh told that there are most of shops which are like home delivery and online purchases, but many people in India who are uneducated wouldn't know how to use it, right? Could they call also? All the shops would not have facilities to deliver it to everyone. Could everyone get the benefit of the home delivery? That's it.
Can I counter like you told right? Not all, but at least like 30% or 50% of people can go to a shop once a week, like wearing mask and sanitizer. But in a very heavy populated country like India, do you think it will work out? Because many people need supplies too. So and you told that poverty people are like they don't know how to use. They have like they have given a proper they can be given a proper the government, for example, food. They have given them food during this lockdown. Many private people have also given basic necessities, like they have helped basic necessities like water, food, or sanitizer and mask. And when people help like this, it also counts as they are getting their basic supplies. So yeah.
So can I reply to that, because he had taken my point a bit wrong. He told that 50% of people come to a shop. I told every day, but then during lockdown, only one day is open, right? So many people will come during that day. So is that more dangerous than the other? That's what I asked.
So people from for the lockdown could come and give your encounters.
As Avinash told, everyone don't know to use mobile phone and electronic appliances, but they can tell to social workers, and there will be social workers in every area, so they can tell and they will deliver to home. That's it.
I would like to say that not every person knows that there's a social worker for their area, and not they cannot arrange for a laptop or a mobile food in that matter for that fast for so many people, and that's
Yes, so if anybody else, the other persons who have not spoke yet, could make your points in the sense questions. If you have any questions to the opposite group, you could make it right now.
Can I ask one question?
Yes, you can make your question.
Preeti is told that the income is not important than the life of a person. I agree with that point, but if there is income for the country, then only the country can work more effectively. Now the online classes are happening, and many poor children are not getting the proper facilities. So the government is giving them these facilities. So if there is no income for the government, how can they give these facilities?
Okay, so except Ritesh and Harikesh, I guess that's your name. So except both of you, anybody from the group for lockdown could give the point, could make your answers.
One thing I want to say is government is not taking full cost.
Just a minute, just a minute. Anybody else than him, because you've already made a point. So anybody else than him would like to answer the question from for the lockdown? Yes, you can start.
So government is not taking all the cost for mobile and tabs. They are taking so much donations from donations, and so many people are giving money, and so many are giving mobile phones, old mobile phones, tabs, and that's it. Not only government, others are also helping.
Is there any question from both the groups?
I would like to ask a question.
Yes, you may.
This work from home it's not applicable for everyone. Then how do you how do the lockdown for the lockdown say that they can live off like taxi drivers or daily workers? How do they live off? They have the whole family, maybe 5, 6, 7 people dependent on their day-to-day jobs. How do they earn and make money for the family?
members from the 4 lockdown could make your answers. There's Sanjana, Megha. You could come and make your points. Anyone from 4 lockdown to answer the question?
Can I even answer?
Yes, you may.
So he told like work from home, whichever job it is applicable for. Many companies have given work from home, for example, software engineer. But for if they are taxi members or something like that, like they can make some type of income and they can also save themselves from this disease in this lockdown. They have also made many efforts to help people, like ambulance services are not there. But you told families and they rely on them. If tomorrow something happens to that same taxi driver because of this virus, then it is like the family is also going to end up in the streets, right? So he is saving himself from making this thing worse. He's saving himself from this virus, so that when even after this virus you can get money, but then you can't get that same life if you lose one, right? In that case, lockdown helps it.
Okay, so the time has exceeded. So I would like to call the judges to make their comments.
Thank you, Srilakshmi. Rajesh, you want to go first, or?
Yeah. Okay, I think it was. I attended the debate before the last one, so definitely we have come some distance from there, which is very good. So I will stick to the point. I mean, you made great points. I think surprisingly, you have covered almost all points which I thought of, plus those points which I did not think of. So you have some of the points were points for both of you, basically saying like work from home, the applicability can be worked either way. So I think you did well. I will point out some of the things which you may want to consider to improve. Is there any rule against using Google? Srilakshmi, can I actually go to Google and look for points while we are in the session?
No, sir. We have to make our own points.
No, but can you actually go and research Google during the session? Is there a rule against that?
Yes, sir. That was not made. That was not in the rule.
Okay, there is a rule.
You should not do that.
Okay, so well, it's very tempting, but it is if it is a rule, then you can't. If it is not a rule, then you should. That's the point, you know. That's one thing. But if you can't, you can't. Now, I felt the openings were weaker because they were not elaborate enough. When you open, when you take an effort, this is the first impression you create. Whoever you select to open, that person has to make it elaborate. You did well towards the end. When you talk about a point, try to elaborate it, explain it a bit more, like you did with examples. A lot of examples came up towards the second half of the thing, but no many examples in the first half of the things. So when you make a point, when you open, don't hurry. Set out a background. You know, take your time think about somebody who doesn't know about the topic. So you say, oh, well, today we are going to propose that lockdown is necessary for the future of the country. Or say something like that. What I'm saying is that take it from there. Don't go straight to the point. Think about an educated, intelligent idiot who doesn't know the subject, but is smart enough to capture subject when you talk about it. So explain the background, then make your points, elaborate those points with examples. Openings always have to do that. That set the mood of the whole debate. So make sure that you do that, which I felt both parties did not do it very well. I mean, they did well, but not well enough. For the standards you have exhibited towards the second half of what you have done, the smart questions you have asked, I think the opening was weak in comparison with that. Okay. Now, as I said, elaborate the points. Look at the audience as a person not knowledgeable of every single thing you're going to say, but look at him as a person who you have to educate, you have to persuade your point. So you cannot just say, oh, work from, say, pollution. Yeah, that's one point that struck me. Pollution control. When you are stuck indoors, the pollution is less, environment is safe. But you have to go a step further to say that why should we have an environment safe? You should say, somebody said respiratory diseases will be less, which is a valid point. So explain, elaborate, cover all the points on every single point you make. Then even towards the end, I think that is for the moderator. Make it a bit more packed. Don't allow the drag, because sometimes you may have to wait a longer time. So the group leaders may have to consider that you have a packed set of people ready to argue or counter argue as and when necessary. It's not very easy, but I'm just trying to say that would be a better way of dealing with it. So a more packed session, which is difficult to implement, but that's something to try, and a better opening. And the points you made were very interesting, and the questions you asked each other are quite valid. So that's what I want to tell you. Congratulations to all of you. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Rajesh. Yeah, I agree with all his points, and there's only a couple of things which I wanted to add. The openings, particularly for against the lockdown, could have been better, because I think Nikhil started first and it finished in 20 seconds. You had 3 minutes, so just make the all use of your time, all of your time. It's also applicable for Sanjana, Avinash, Rishikesh, everyone, pretty much everyone. You only spoke less than 1 minute. You have all of 3 minutes. When you start speaking, try to make your points and take your time. You have the time. Normally what happens is you don't have the time, and then you cannot finish your points. But here I have seen the other way around. Also, when you have a debate, people try to jump into the points, when you get a gap, people try to grab that gap and make their point. But it was seen other way around in here, where moderator had to call out the names, and these are a couple of things which I noticed. So when you are given the chance, just make use of all the time you have, and also very good points. You have spoken about, all of you spoken very well. Some very good points were made, but just make use of the time. But again, particularly towards the second session, the drag which Rajesh mentioned, it was quite obvious, because no one was taking the chance. Ritesh and Avinash were stopped from talking because they already made the point. The idea is for everyone to join in and speak for the team. But that was not seen. I've seen Rikesh coming in and proactively speaking when he had a chance. That's very good. Well done, Rikesh. Everyone else made good points. But yeah, maybe because of the network issue, Clemmy had a problem. I know she couldn't join later on. But in general, everyone from the group against the lockdown did good. Everyone spoke, I guess, or most of them. But a few people were missing out when they had a chance in the question answer session. So they should have, came forward and spoke, because it's a team effort rather than one person's game. So yeah, that's all my comments.
Who is the winner of the debate?
Okay, there's okay, again, there's no point of giving out a winner, but from what I've seen, people who spoke against the lockdown, they came up with they were able to ask good questions. Particularly, they were able to defend well, and all of them participated. Not all of them, but most of them participated in the question answer session. So I think as a team, those who spoke against the lockdown, they did better.
Yes, sir. So we could make against lockdown the winners of today's debate.
Okay, yeah, we don't need any winners or losers. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So congratulations to all of you, and thank you so much. Thank you, judges.